amici, proseguiamo con Astrologaster, o qualsiasi sia la pronuncia. Bene, va bene, con lei con la quale aveva appena trombato, insomma, solite cose.
Good day to you, sir. I am Amelia Bassano of Bishopsgate, here for my consultation.
Welcome, Mistress Bassano. Bassano? 'Tis an Italian name, is it not?
Aye, it is, sir. Though I was born in London, my family are from Venice. They did come to London to gain employment as musicians at the royal court.
Ah, I know one of your countrymen, Riccardo Ferraro, another one of my querents. Mayhap you know him? He hails from Venice, too.
No, sir, I do not know him. Venice is a large city, and as such, 'tis home to many thousands of men. And as I did mention, I was born in London.
Aye, of course.
Minchia, bello sveglio.
Mayhap we turn our thoughts to what brings you hither today.
Magari,
Have you a question for me?
Aye, sir, I wish to know what afflicts me, for my belly does begin to swell, and lately I oft find myself chundering after meals.
Swollen abdomen and involuntary upward purging. Well now, let us consult the stars to judge the cause of these troubles. What is ailing Mistress Amelia Bassano?
Bene, vediamo un po' cosa le ha causato mal di pancia, vediamo se anche lei in realtà è incinta. Bene, soffre di verme vivo, io... allora, un attimo. Ah, è incinta. Vuol dire che non durerà a lungo, va bene. Crick in the knees. Malattia cronica? Eccessivo. Non posso tipo... merda. Pensavo di poter rileggere ciò che mi hanno detto. Invece no, non posso. Sono indeciso. Perché sembra la scelta facilona, però, capito? Andiamo con questo, va.
You have a fasciola hepatica, commonly known as a liver worm. A worm that has made its home in your liver. Ah, this would explain the swelling in your abdomen.
I see. And what of my chunderings, sir?
You may also blame the worm for that, for it seems your uninvited guest is a harsh critic of the meals you send him. When he feels the dish has been over-seasoned, or mayhap when your beef has not been cooked to his liking, he sends it back.
Then how might I expel this verminous intruder? I must own I find the notion of sharing my repasts with a worm right unsavoury.
It is a simple procedure. First you are to fast. After 2 full days without food, the worm will begin to hunger most acutely. Then you must take a bowl of hot potage. Hold it in front of your nose and breathe deeply of its flavoursome odours. The now starving worm, being tantalized by the smell of your potage, will propel itself out of your liver, up through your intestines, and out through your mouth.
Dr. Foreman, I am sorry to inconvenience you, but I believe I'm about to chunder. Would you have a receptacle?
My manservant will assist you with your, William, come hither and assist Mistress Bassano!
Ok,
Blessed morrow to you, Dr. Foreman.
bella.
I am Mary Payne of 4th Street in Lambeth. I'm come to seek your counsel about my neighbours.
Good morrow, Mistress Payne, and well met. What trouble do your neighbours give you? They play their lutes into the night, perchance? Mayhap a neighbour has cast a malignant spell upon your cabbages.
Why, sir, 'tis no trifling matter. Indeed, 'tis a matter of grave importance. Doubtless you do know we have a Catholic living on 4th Street. A woman by the name of Avis Allen.
Ah, yes. I did hear tell that Mistress Allen subscribes to the Romish faith. But 'tis no crime to be a Catholic, is it, madam? At least, not at present.
Aye, but harbouring a Jesuit priest is, Dr. Foreman. These evenings past, I have spied a man sneaking in and out of the Allen's house. 'Tis my reckoning the man is a priest who is going hither and thither all over Lambeth to perform the Catholic Mass and take confessions. Doubtless Mr. Allen is hiding him in one of those little cupboards.
You mean to say you think Mr. Allen has installed a priest hole in his house? A secret room hidden behind the wood panelling of a wall?
Indeed I do. I am certain that he has such a hole, and that a priest is going in and out of Mr. Allen's hole from dusk till dawn.
Verily? How troubling. But surely you are mistaken, madam, for under the cover of darkness, how can you be sure the man you did spy was not Mr. Allen himself?
Nay, nay, 'twas not Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen is a fine, tall figure of a man, whereas the figure I did spy was very narrow and malformed in appearance. A scrawny little imp of a man he was.
I see.
Now, you must not be intolerant, Dr. Foreman. If Mistress Allen must cling to her idolatrous backward beliefs, 'tis her own affair, and I have no wish to cause trouble for the Allens. And 'tis true that Mistress Allen does now attend church on Sundays and takes the English sacrament just as she ought to. But we residents of 4th Street are decent English folk. We will not abide an agent of Rome sneaking around our neighborhood, muttering incantations in some devilish foreign tongue.
I think you mean Latin, madam.
But before I act upon my suspicions, I think it wise to know if there be any truth in them.
Then let us see what the stars can tell us. Who is this mysterious stranger, and why does he frequent the Allen's house late at night?
Lui non sempre prendeva benissimo, Allora. Uno scontro con prete gesuita, madonna, messa così è veramente terribile. No. Ok. Guarda come la prende male. Ok. Vediamo un po'. Qua. Va bene. Evitiamo di andare là a puttane, cioè allora andiamo con questa, va.
Ah, 'twould seem the man you saw is a foreigner who's been secreted into the Allen house to aid Mistress Allen with their family difficulties.
Family difficulties? Come, come, Dr. Foreman. Pray speak plain.
Ah, well, as you doubtless know, the Allens have never been blessed with a living child. Mayhap 'tis the belief of Mistress Allen that the seed of a foreigner would prove more powerful than the demonstrably less successful seed of Mr. Allen.
Then 'tis naught but adultery, fornication with a foreigner. Mistress Allen will pay dearly for such sinning. Her soul will be damned to
La
a
Madonna.
beset by the exquisite
La Madonna.
British demons.
Aye, well, according to scripture, that is technically true.
But to harbour a Jesuit priest is a far greater evil. We must be glad that Mistress Allen commits naught but the sin of adultery, conducted late at night, with a man who gives forth strong foreign seed. You have given me much to think on, Dr. Foreman. Blessed day.
I am glad to have been of service, Mistress Payne.
Ok. Buono, credo. Eccolo di nuovo.
God give you good day, signor. And how may I assist you?
Tis I, Riccardo Ferraro, come once again to see the great dottore, Simon Foreman.
So I see. What brings you this day?
I bring myself to you, so you treat my illness. Tis very grave.
And, what might this illness be? Perchance we might start with your complaints.
First problem is the laughter that cannot be controlled.
Uncontrollable laughter, you say? I see.
Questa è schizofrenia, però vabbè.
Next problem, the dancing that cannot be controlled.
Uncontrollable dancing. And yet, you do not appear to be dancing at present.
What can I say? Tis uncontrollable dancing. I cannot control when I dance.
C'ha ragione, c'ha ragione.
Doubtless, my disease, whatever it may be, is very rare and very difficult to diagnose. But of course, if it be beyond your medical understanding...
Let me assure you, signor, that whatever is said of us on the continent, the learning of we English doctors is unparalleled. There is no better medical care to be had than in London. Now, let us see whether the stars may tell us something of your unusual and troubling illness.
Madonna? Oppure? Sì, mi sembra meglio cadata, anche perché i rutti
It sounds to me like you're
hanno più senso,
in
ecco.
your stomach.
But how did you know this?
Indeed, methinks you are stricken with a bout of colic. Most doctors do advise upward purging, but I have found the dog cure more efficacious in cases of colic.
The dog cure?
Aye. First you must find a dog lying idle on the ground. On any street in London you will find such a creature. Then you must kick the dog away, lower your breeches, and then make water upon the spot where the dog did lie.
If you say so, Signor Foreman.
If we were not on English soil, of course, I would have said you were bitten by a tarantula. But there be no such spiders in England. Our weather is much too cold for them. Indeed, only an overqualified quack who draws his medical knowledge from books alone would think such a diagnosis appropriate in this case.
Indeed, most ludicrous.
And in truth, the laughing and dancing you are troubled with may doubtless be attributed to your hot-blooded Latin temperament.
Doubtless you speak it true, eh? 'Tis but a symptom of my hot Venetian blood. Riccardo Ferraro bids you good day.
Boh, spero di averla azzeccata perché sembrava incazzato. Ok. Vediamo un po'. Di nuovo?
Good day to you, madam.
Yes. Good day, Mr. Foreman. Pray tell, is your Venetian querent Riccardo Ferraro one of the patients you treat for troubles of the mind? Forsooth, his manner is right strange. I passed him at the door, and when I addressed him in the Italian tongue, he abruptly turned from me and ran away down the street.
Nay, Signor Ferraro has no grave troubles of the mind that I'm aware of. Mayhap he was merely dumbstruck by your beauty.
Là,
Dr.
dai,
Foreman,
su.
a man is rarely struck dumb by a woman's beauty. Indeed, 'tis quite the reverse. He is oft rendered all the more loquacious, plaguing her with ill-formed metaphors he believes are compliments, and with hasty declarations and invitations she has neither sought nor invited.
Ah, quite. But let us turn our minds to happier thoughts. I did lately hear of your marriage to your cousin, Mr. Alfonso Lania, for which I must congratulate you.
Ah, yes, my marriage. 'Twas arranged when it became quite apparent that I was with child. Of this you failed to inform me. I came to you with a swollen belly, as you may recall.
Verily? Then I beseech your pardon, madam. And your child and husband are both well, I hope?
I would rather not discourse on the subject of my husband, Dr. Foreman.
As it pleases you, madam. What brings you this day?
Lately I have been feeling heavy and lethargic. I do also find it hard to fix my attention upon the book I am reading or upon words I am composing. And yet, although I oft feel right tired, I am having difficulty sleeping.
Well, becoming a mother, beset with all the demands of a suckling babe, can force change upon the normal rhythms of life.
Nay, 'tis not that, for I have employed a wet nurse for the feeding and much of the care of my son. Methinks I must have some kind of disease.
I see. Let us consult the stars to see what afflicts you. What is ailing?
Quindi avevo cannato di brutto la volta scorsa. Ok. Vediamo. Ma cazzo. Ok. Malinconia. Ma io con questa.
You are suffering from phlegmatism, madam. To treat it, I will give you syrup of safflower to be taken each morning when you break fast.
What is phlegmatism, Dr. Foreman?
Well, simply put, 'tis an excess of phlegm. This can be provoked by a stubborn temperament and a willful resistance to change. 'Tis sometimes experienced by lately wedded women such as yourself, who do not easily adjust to married life.
I see. So, if I am to understand your judgment, Dr. Foreman, if only I were to offer less resistance to, indeed, if I were to accommodate my husband's profligacy and drunkenness, then I would be cured of my condition?
Well, not precisely. If you will allow me to...
But is that not a logical extension of your judgment, Dr. Foreman?
If you will forgive me for saying so, madam, you are displaying a degree of recalcitrance at this moment which only serves to confirm my...
Dr. Foreman, methinks I should prefer to forever remain a phlegmatic woman than hear any further from you this day, sir. I will bid you good day.
L'abbiamo persa. Ah no, tornerò. Ah, l'abbiamo cannata proprio. Forse ho tradotto male le cose mentalmente. Allora. Non le facciamo. Che non abbiamo fatto abbastanza bene il nostro lavoro. Come dalle tosto, effettivamente.
My dear Avis, what a pleasure it is to see you. I have oft thought of our
I
last...
cannot tarry long. My husband will be expecting me home.
Of course. But, dear lady, is something the matter?
Of course. Do not all your querents come with a matter they wish an answer to?
Well, yes.
I wish to ask of the stars whether a man I am close with, a man who is not my husband, whether that man be also close with another woman.
A man you are. I see. Well, if I am to judge the stars for you, I must ask you to be more precise. In what sense do you mean close? The platonic bond of friendship?
Nay, close in the sense of being intimate.
I see. Is the familial tie of kinship, perchance?
Nay, I mean someone with whom I have shared physical relations.
Verily, madam, if I am to give you an accurate reading, you must state your question clearly.
Methinks you know full well what I ask. I bid you ask the stars whether my lover is, just to say, be it true that he engages with another woman in acts of strumpy-humpy.
Madam, you astonish me. 'Tis unlike you to speak such indelicate words. Now, if I understand you correctly, you have a lover, and you wish to know whether he has been sharing his tender favors with another woman.
Aye, but did I not verily say so?
And now that we have at last fathomed your question, let us read the stars to fathom an answer. Has Mistress Allen's lover been unfaithful to her?
Ok. Allora. È gelosa e confusa. Dovrebbe essere più ottimista. Ah, ok, questo incasinerà, cioè potrebbe provocare cose che... Ok. Allora. Io non sto tradotto bene nella mia mente. Ma no, direi che deve essere più ottimista comunque. Andiamo.
The stars are most clear, madam. Your lover has not been coupling with another woman.
He has not.
Forsooth, the stars say that your mind has been turned by jealousy and confusion. Now, if there is nothing further, madam...
Oh, how relieved I am to hear you say this. Oh, Simon, what a fool I have been not to trust you.
But you... this lover... 'twas me all along? You were not speaking of some other man?
I beseech you, pardon me, Simon. I had to know the truth from the stars, for I did hear tell of other women.
But how could you not see? No other woman is to me so dear, and verily is it not clear to you that I...
Do you verily, Simon?
Oh, my dear, sweet Avis.
Corri dopo, giusto, giusto. Grande. Ce l'ho fatta. Questa che cazzo è? Vediamo.
Good morrow, madam. I humbly welcome you to my consulting chambers and thank you for choosing my practice. Mistress...
Fortescue. Mistress Sybil Fortescue.
Well then, Mistress Fortescue, what may I assist you with this day?
I come upon a most troubling matter, sir. I know not whether it is a medical matter or something else.
I see. Pray describe your trouble to me, madam.
Well, I suppose it all began with a dinner I hosted at my house last even. Mayhap you have heard of my dinners, Dr. Foreman. They are much talked about. Though I fear last evening's dinner will be talked about for all the wrong reasons.
Talked about, you say?
Yes. Indeed, invitations to my dinners are much sought after, for I host the most desirable of guests. Lords, bishops, poets, explorers, painters, and the like. Why, last eve I hosted the famous Robert Lord Devereux, the playwright William Shakespeare, and the Bishop of London and his wife. As well as fascinating conversation, at my table I served the very latest and most original dishes. Last even, I served an exotic green vegetable called a potato. So crisp and refreshing. My dear husband sent them home to me from the New World. Doubtless you have heard of my husband, Captain Fortescue. He is a great friend of Sir Walter Raleigh.
I see. Your dinners do sound most excellent, Mistress Fortescue. But what occurred at last eve's dinner that has you so distressed?
Well, in truth, 'twas after dinner. We all felt a strong desire to take some air, and so we left the table to take a turn in some pleasure gardens nearby. But then, as we were walking along the path, right in the middle of the gardens, in full public view...
Pray do not distress yourself, madam. Prithee, take your time.
My guests and I were, all of a sudden, stricken with pain. We began chundering and voiding from our... But there was nowhere to turn, you see. There were no bushes close by to shield our modesty. 'Twas unspeakable.
A moment, madam, as I note this down. Abdominal pain and simultaneous upward and downward purging of a most sudden and...
Un'intossicazione alimentare, immagino.
Now, let us see how these stars explain this most distressing and unsavory event. What troubled Mistress Sybil Fortescue and her guests last eve?
Allora... indigestione, tipo.
Madam, I think you said the New World vegetables you dined upon were green in color, did you not? And you described them as crisp and refreshing, I think. I take it then that you served them to your guests green and raw?
Yes, indeed. Most of the potatoes my husband sent me were full dull and unhealthsome in appearance. Hence I served only the green ones. I had my cook cut them in such a way as to resemble roses. Tis the way I oft serve my apples.
Ah, then your trouble was a severe case of evil digestion. I have read that these vegetables can be noxious if they turn green.
No, ho proprio sbagliato.
Do you mean I poisoned my guests?
In a manner of speaking, aye. But worry not, madam, for the suffering was but temporary. Indeed, it does sound as if the bodies of your guests were most comprehensively purged of the poison. However, in future, be sure to cook the potatoes until they are soft, and pray do not eat the ones that have turned green.
As God shall mend me. What a shameful affair this has been. I shall go home and, well, I shall write to my husband and ask that he includes cooking instructions with the next gift of food that he sends me. I thank ye and bid ye good day, Dr. Foreman.
L'ho azzeccato, credo. Sì, l'ho azzeccato. Gesù, non ne stavo più azzeccando uno. Non ne stavo più azzeccando uno. Allora, come ce l'abbiamo fatta? Abbiamo ricevuto la lettera, eccetera. Dobbiamo provare con la signora Lanier. Poi devo anche migliorare nell'inglese, perché credo di aver fatto minchiate con lei. Riccardo Ferrero l'abbiamo un attimo ripreso. Ok, l'ultima aveva un suo senso. Sharp, ok. Mary Payne. Qui ho cannato io, ho decisamente cannato io, poi mentre stanno nascondendo un prete. Ah, ok, posso vederli tutti, quindi. Ok. Bene. Qui ho proprio cannato. Da gennaio, la Madonna. Quanto tempo è passato? Riccardo febbraio, novembre. Ok. Solo Avis ci fa. Ok, va bene. Ci vediamo nella prossima parte allora. Devo un attimo studiare l'inglese.